follower or 3 viewers.
There's 3 right now.
Hi, the 3 people.
So what were you gonna say?
Oh.
Were you gonna try and hit the tactic trick again? I don't know. I take it back. I take it back. I take it back.
Sarah was talking about a video where someone was tacking across the
Oh my god! And the most fun of my
really?
life was when I streamed.
Yeah, did you have fun?
So much fun. $300 in 30 minutes. That's what I'm talking about.
I don't talk about. Whoa. And I saw you pulled a nice card too. Did you pull a Miriam? What did you pull?
The guardian.
The Gardevoir. The altar.
So you got paid to do it.
I made it for
Not guest appearance.
Yeah, I made
Guest
it for him.
appearance.
Yes.
That was really cool.
That was so cool. You
That
told me to do that.
I liked all the Instagram story and everything. Very cool. Okay, so we will
Are we going to do a recap?
kind of do a recap,
Kind of.
but also you two need to find out what happened kind of naturally. So I'm gonna leave it to when you find the rest of the party to gain the recap from them and ask them what the fuck has happened.
Where are we?
You are.
We're still in
We
camp.
will recap that.
Okay. I thought you were just going to be like, guys, figure it out.
Figure it out. Figure out where you are.
Because you
Fucking figure it out.
You both have a recap of like what happened.
The whole story and what happened.
Yeah.
physically
You
to
have all
guys.
your goddamn notes, yes.
Notes. So
My
I just
God.
rewatch
That's
it.
perfect.
So, recap for the overarching campaign. You guys left the town of Barovia. You brought Ismark and Irina with you because you're trying to get Irina to Valaki, where she feels like she'll be safe from Strahd.
Right.
So you guys are escorting her. You're on an escort quest. Put it in Skyrim terms. We're on an escort quest. Along the way, you have stopped at Madame Ava's encampment at the Serapool camp. Are you trying to see if the skull is on camera?
It's not.
It's kind now it is.
I have to
a little bit.
have it
Now
closer.
we're all through. Yes. Yes, we are.
So I have to have it here. Okay.
So, you stopped at Madame Ava's encampment. You camped. You camped for the night.
Everybody, pay attention.
Pay attention to the skull.
This is very cool.
Oh, by the way, my new dice tower present with the dice that go in it.
Oh, it's
Send it.
flawless.
Wow. Can you bring it forward a little? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
You should show us the dice. It's Slytherin
The
dice.
Slytherin dice. Well, they're not all Slytherin. They're Harry Potter dice. Like that one, has
Yeah.
the Deathly Hollows
Whoa.
on it. This one has the Hogwarts house emblem. Very cool. I love this D4 that is a rectangular prism instead of a caltrop.
Yeah.
It's almost a dreidel.
It's
That is almost sitting
to a dreidel. Anyway,
Dreidel.
yes, that's my new toy. But yeah, so you spent the night at Madame Ava's encampment with the Vistani. You had a lovely party, lots of wine, lots of ale. Marge and Gregory, you awake. It is late in the night. We're talking
2 a.m.
like 2, 3 a.m.
Okay.
Like the sun is almost about to start making its appearance. False start. As you rise, you notice Arthur laying unconscious next to you. And what you also notice is that there are several trails leading to the south that looked as if the rest of your party was dragged away from camp. You don't see anybody else from your party with you, and the places by their sleeping beds are all disturbed, and there's just like there's grass and dirt strewn about and drag marks leading south out of camp.
Is Arthur injured and that's why
I'd
he's
say, would we
unconscious? Or
think
did
that he's sleeping?
He just have one.
Or is he in a weird position?
There are
Arthur
ways to determine that.
Arthur does not appear to be injured in any way. He looks like he's sleeping.
I think he farted.
But,
There's
Oh
a lot
yes,
of smoke.
so much.
oh, the smoke.
It's pretty powerful.
There are no odors coming from Arthur's body.
Yeah.
He just looks to be asleep.
So he's
Oh,
just.
you are welcome to
He's
say
sleeping.
so.
Oh, thanks.
Okay.
Marge kind of just goes over and gives him a little kick.
As you nudge Arthur, his body
Roll for damage.
jostles, and he just lays there, completely unconscious. He will not rise.
Oh, Gregor, he's dead.
I don't exactly know if he's dead.
Also, where's everyone at?
That's a great question. I have a bit of a.
Did they go to breakfast?
Seems like let's practice.
Early.
Then we must burn early breakfast.
That feels about right.
Continental breakfast. At the
It's just part of the.
I wanted a Danish.
I wanted the large slices.
Oh my god. They don't appear. There does not appear to be any breakfast laying around.
Can I roll a medicine check to see
Yes.
what the hell's going on with Arthur?
Yeah.
Did you say venison check?
You can roll medicine.
Medicine.
You can roll medicine or arcana. I'll let you.
The answer to that question is always Arcana because
I figured. As a wizard, it might.
that's a 22.
Yeah. You can tell that
Wow.
he has been magically put to sleep.
And is there any way of breaking that spell?
As far as you know, your knowledge of sleep spells is that they last for X amount of time, or until the caster of said sleep spell is kaput.
I think we might be putting the blanket on him and leaving him for this period as we chase after these tracks. He is very much asleep, and it's not by natural causes.
Alright. Let's do that.
If you say so. And as you look at the tracks leading out of camp, Marge, can you give me a survival? Do you have decent survivability?
Ask me about cookies.
Get rid of the cookies. No D&D Beyond. We will not give you.
It's asking me about
He's asking me about the cookies.
Chocolate chip, please.
when one of the other things are crumble cookies overrated.
Crumble.
I do love a crumble cookie.
But they're good. They're not great. They're good,
Now
not
they
great.
can't sponsor you.
We
I'm
want
sorry, crumble cookies. Your cookies are so good.
we want
They're
no,
great.
we want Guinness to sponsor us. We don't want to
Yeah, we don't care about crumble. We want Guinness.
or Guinness, or I feel like Modelo would be.
Can we
a
get
good-
cookies made with it?
Did we decide it was blue
Guinness
that makes the dice?
Right.
That makes the dice look good, right?
Yeah. Look at this.
So
Nice.
should survival be right here?
Yeah,
Should be.
it should be towards the
It
bottom.
should be one of your.
I don't have it.
Unless you don't have it.
Everyone has a survival.
I don't.
Like-
Oh, it was not loading. Okay.
Yeah, it was.
Cookies.
Yeah, those
Why?
goddamn.
D&D Beyond.
Because you said
Okay.
no.
Well,
Not bad. What you can tell as you examine the tracks, Marge, you can make out like the sets of boots that are being dragged along the ground. Like you can see like trails of two being dragged along the ground. You don't see any prints of what dragged them away.
okay.
So like you just
It's
see
literally just boots.
it's just drag marks with no footsteps, no nothing of what took them
Okay.
out of camp.
What time of night is it again?
It's like 3 or 4 in the morning.
3 or 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
And they both woke up at that time
They
on the
both
road.
woke up at that time.
Can I do an Arcana check to see if the tracks look familiar in any way, shape, or form?
Yeah, go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
We're gonna do a normal roll. That's a 9.
With no bonus.
You don't have a bonus?
That's with a roll.
With the bonus. You no longer sense any magic. You no longer
That's
sense
great.
any
Oh,
magic
wait, so
other
I
than
didn't roll a d20.
What
Roll
did you
D12.
roll?
I rolled a d12.
12?
They're very similar.
Well, that's a
size.
very high roll on a d12.
That's still only like a 12, which is better than that.
It is better than
True.
the only arcana, the only magic that you sense in the area. Do you have detect magic, by the way?
I don't think I have it.
Memorized?
No,
Like you don't have it?
I can let me double check
Have it in
real
your
quick,
spell.
but I'm pretty sure I don't.
The only magic that you sense is coming from Arthur. You no longer sense any magic in the vicinity. There's no like residual magical trails along the tracks or anything like that.
Gotcha.
I
I vote we follow them. Are you opposed to that?
no, I kind of don't want to leave them out in the open though.
Can we,
Maybe put them in like tent.
Yeah.
You can drag Arthur to a tent. Okay.
Alright.
Just gonna boop.
All right,
Beautiful.
cool.
Arthur's asleep in the tent.
And we're gonna.
And he doesn't
He doesn't.
he is dead weight as you drag him. He is
Yeah.
Damn.
magically asleep. So
Okay, so we're gonna
you're
follow.
gonna follow the
Quick
trail
question
south.
before we
Yes.
continue. Would we have gotten a long rest prior to? Because my character.
You two do have a long
Oh,
rest.
okay.
Yes.
I just want to ask that before we really got
I'm
into
so
it.
sorry. I have to ask again. How do you find that?
So click on your character name.
Manage.
Click on your character name, and then it'll pull them up.
Oh, got it. Okay.
And then you might have to confirm it.
Yep. Confirm it, and then you're good.
Oh, look, more cookies.
But yeah,
No more cookies to
So
give you.
Arkin and Thayron are gone, but also is Mark and Arena.
Okay.
You don't see either of them
It's Mark.
as well. Yeah. As you start following,
Also, is this like going into the woods, or are we talking
Yes.
about like it's on the road?
no, so this trail leads
The
south
woods.
deep into the
Well-
woods of the Spallage Forest.
Okay.
Um,
Well, we're trying to save
We're trying
you
to-
guys.
I mean,
so-
luckily it does not. I won't even make you guys roll. Like, there has been no rain, no wind, or anything like
Right.
that. The tracks are very visible,
Okay.
leading into the woods. You follow them for roughly like 3-ish hours or so.
Oh my god.
Yeah, long hike.
It's like
It's a lot of cardio.
Quite a few miles. Yeah.
A lot of cardio.
Holy Marge was ready for that.
They were dragged faster than one would walk. And what you find as you
This is so cool.
make your way into the woods,
And I'm glad I didn't listen to the last.
Yeah, me too.
as you're
Yeah, it
following,
wouldn't ruin it.
yeah, as you're following the trail, it dead ends, and what you see is this wall of briars. Think Maleficent from Sleeping Beauty, where she summons like the big wall of briars. It's like a castle wall made out of thorns. It is impenetrable, and it seems to just span in either direction along the forest.
Fireball? Question mark.
I like it. What you hear from the other side of this wall of briars is the yells of your companions from somewhere off in the distance, and you can tell that they are in the heat of battle. And as you cast spells at the wall of briars, and as you hit at them with your sword and attempt to like find any way through, suddenly the sound of battle dies, and the briars back down.
It's a good briar sound.
Thank
Great.
you. Thank
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know what briars sounded like.
Just like that.
You just
Just- they disappear back down into the earth in like this eruption of soil, and you are able to see in the distance Arthur's
Bye, Arthur.
you guys are like up here. You are able to see off in the distance there is a cabin in the woods. It is the cabin in the woods.
Of course
Oh my
there's.
god.
And
Also, Arthur, if
Great
you're
movie.
watching,
Are
Maybe you
we
realized how we took care of you.
are we gonna knock at the cabin in the woods?
Sweet boy, baby boy,
We love baby boy.
does not know.
Stop kidding.
His NPCs does not know anything. As you watch, the cabin goes from looking like this beautiful fairy cabin in the woods. It ages by about 100 years in front of your very eyes and becomes decrepit, the wood rotting away, the growth of the forest taking over it. Theron and Arkin, from inside the cabin, you see the same thing start to happen around you as the illusion fades and the cabin just deteriorates around you. You feel like the roof sagging under the weight of fallen leaves and tree limbs. Back to Marge and Gregory. You recognize the voices in the cabin. Some of them you didn't recognize, though. You heard a woman's voice, and you also heard a man's voice that you've never heard before. But otherwise, this is what you see as you approach in the woods.
I vote we go towards the cabin that feels like a safe bet.
I'm gonna roll perception. So if I hear anything,
Go for it.
because we don't hear them at all anymore. 9.
You, from this distance, you no longer hear any sound coming from the cabin. What you can see, though, is there is light from a fire in the cabin, and you can see the movement of silhouettes across the windows. You don't recognize them from this far away, and you don't hear your companions anymore. You also don't hear or notice anything in the woods around you.
Okay.
Would they potentially see carapaces
Nope.
of?
I don't see anything.
Carapaces?
I don't.
Apparently,
Okay.
some shit happened.
Yes, we don't see them.
You do not.
Hey, I mean,
Hey, can't go through it. Can't go. I mean, we just gotta go.
okay. Okay.
Boop, 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 boop.
Sure, he-
As you make your way
Kinda-
up to the door, suddenly, as you go to you're sneaking by the front door, trying to figure out the best way. You do see in the windows as
Is the
you
door
get
closed?
closer. The door's closed.
Okay.
You do see in the windows as you get closer the silhouettes of what appear to be your comrades. And as you approach the front door, it suddenly swings open and just kind of crumples and falls off the hinges. And a half-elf with glasses and a trench coat and a sword cane in hand, he says, Oh, more unexpected guests. You must be the rest of the group.
And you would be?
Oh, sorry. Silly me. My name is Rictavio. I found myself in the presence of the rest of your party, your
Companions.
yes, your friend group.
You found yourself how? Did they find you,
Oh,
or
I think-
did you find them?
I think it would be best if you spoke with them about that. And he steps back into the room.
Theron's hand is glowing when they walk in the ground. He's sitting on the ground, in a very, very bad shape.
Yeah, and so yeah,
And
okay.
His hand, it was glowing
And you're
when
probably
the
next
door
to-
fell off the hinges.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm
And
probably
he's
spun
shaking.
around to
Theron is shaking.
Yeah.
cast.
Like,
Yeah, so what you guys see as you enter the house,
Because you were just
right, time has basically just synced up between the two groups. What you see as you walk in you see Arkin vampiric form glowing.
Form of dread.
Yeah, form of dread glowing from his eyes. You see Ismark with horrific wounds all over his body. He is lying on the ground with his eyes like barely fluttering open. Yeah,
I think he was here.
he was there. Yes.
And Theron's
Theron.
Do this more often.
Theron has like bruises and rents in his armor, and Arena is like kneeling on the ground panting. There is a corpse of a woman on the ground in the midst of them.
there would also still be a very scary looking guardian of faith hovering in the middle of that room.
There is also Theron's Guardian of Shades still floating in the room. The woman's corpse on the ground. As you step in, her form changes. She was a beautiful looking elf in like a lovely dress, and as you step into the room, her nose elongates and her skin droops, and her skin color turns to like this pale bluish green color, and almost looks like it's rotting away and sloughing off of her body, as the blood around her turns
Hey, you
from.
used the right skin term.
Thank you.
What's sloughing?
Um,
Nice.
I just
We're all-
researched the DM for you guys.
We're sharing our knowledge.
The blood around her quickly turns from a deep red. It congeals almost instantly and turns black across the rotting floorboards of the house as she seems to age with the house as well. That's what you guys step into.
Well, Rick,
Rick! Is that what we're calling Rictavio?
yeah, Rick.
I love
Oh,
it. Okay.
Ricky Ticky Tappy.
Ricky?
Rick,
Yes. Yes.
Are you okay with Rick or
I
Rick?
suppose if we're
Would you prefer Ricky?
at this point, I feel like it doesn't really matter.
Ricky, what the fuck happened?
Wow, we're
You seem
really
to have
late.
stumbled into a bit of a den of vipers here.
We're a bit
I-
late to
I can-
party.
I can explain a little.
Let me just say, Gregory, Marge, it's really good to see you guys.
I can't
Likewise.
say it's likewise.
Likewise,
What?
not for me.
Marge, fuck you.
And
We've walked into better situations.
Theron's on all fours right now. Like, yeah. I didn't want to interrupt what you're saying. I just wanted to.
Well,
But Theron is on all fours. He's not even standing.
Arkin, would you mind explaining exactly what happened?
I could try. I don't know everything, but this is Morgantha. And I point to the corpse.
Yeah.
So it's not
Well-
anatomy, but okay.
We'll explain
Not
that.
Ava.
We'll explain a little bit later.
Are y'all good?
Theron,
Do you need healing?
he and Ismark took the blood with the brunt of the attacks.
Ismark is just like still coughing up
The four
blood
of us-
and like barely
Well,
conscious on
I'm
the
sorry,
ground.
5, and I point to Rotavio. The 5 of us were dragged through the woods for a couple hours by shadows. We couldn't talk, we couldn't move, we couldn't do
Makes sense,
anything.
doesn't it?
We were awake the whole time. And we were
Octavio
deposited.
flicks his sword cane and sheaths it with a click.
We were deposited just inside the wall of brambles that formed.
Yeah.
We ended up being attacked by tree creatures.
And
Yes.
I am not sure. To be honest, I've never experienced it.
As you guys are having this conversation, you again hear the cries of little children coming from
Damn it!
the trapdoor in the corner of the room.
Distracted. Marge, you still have your crowbar, right? And I point over to the corner over here. See that trap door that's locked? Could you,
And we definitely want to leave them out. Are these kids?
yeah, they're kids.
They're
Like
kids.
actual kids?
I will actually explain that a little bit more as well. So we were dragged here,
We're shot.
attacked by shadows, attacked by tree. Could you do the kids?
The thing?
Yeah.
Do I need to roll
And-
for
and,
it?
um,
Strength check with advantage,
Alright.
please.
So we were attacked, and things were going okay, but this woman who we didn't know at first was this, basically shouted out, opened the door, shouted out, "You're disturbing my quiet, be gone,"
Just
and
reach.
the rest of the creatures just dissipated. We walked inside, we were talking. Things turned bad. And we found ourselves fighting her.
It's probably an understatement.
Yes.
Um,
To Ismark dropped a couple times.
I feel like
He was very close.
I feel like at this point, Gregory would have already given his mark at least 1 or 2 health potions, just like instinctively upon seeing this.
Yeah. Do you have any potions on you?
Let me double check, but I believe I have some.
I think we have a bunch.
Yeah, I
you got
think
the
I
good
have a
ones.
shit ton.
I have
if now's a good-
potions that are.
Ooh, I have
on
potions
Etsy.
of greater heal.
Theron
use
sits
one?
cross-legged on the ground and starts casting a cure wound spell, and just kind of puts his hands against his shoulders and finally gives himself some relief.
Do you have? Okay, yeah, that's fine. Was that 11? Was
That
that
would-
your 44 plus 4?
That's without the +4. With the +4 would be 15.
Okay. You heal Ismark. You heal Ismark by 15 points. And his eyes flutter open, and he sits up and he says, "Oh, Gregory, you have no idea how good it is to see you. I thought we were lost. I thought we were lost for a moment." And he looks to his sister and he says, "Marina, my dear, what happened?" And she looks down and she says, "Oh, you were struck dead by the hag."
It's just like a strong word.
No, he was
No.
killed. He was
No.
killed.
I was referring to hag.
No, she's a hag.
She is a hag.
She's a hag.
So was this like a Hansel and Gretel situation?
Yes.
Very much.
Yeah. And Mark,
With
as
a
you
with a
bust
haughty
open,
elf.
as you bust open the lock
He
to
was pretty
the
hot.
trap door, she was a hot elf.
Yeah.
As you bust open the lock to the trapdoor and open it, you see like 10 elementary school age children down in the basement. They look hungry and dirty.
Well, I am in
Yes.
no place to foster.
Miss,
So
please take us home. We miss our parents.
boy.
I mean, we can release them into the
we
woods.
could take them back to the camp.
Gregory,
That's not a bad idea.
I thought we were getting
Okay.
continental breakfast. Instead, we got 10 hungry kids.
Oh, there are pies over there, but you probably
Don't want to eat them.
Yeah.
I feel like
They are delicious.
Oh,
They really
man.
are.
that would
They were
backtrack.
on
Yeah.
stump, like
They are.
grabs the table and pulls himself to his feet
Yeah.
and moves towards the trapdoor to try to help the children get out, and looks to see if any of them are injured and need any restoration.
None of them appear injured. They are emaciated and dirty, and the first child that comes out is like a probably 10 or 11-year-old boy, and he says, "Oh, thank you, sir. Ma'am, my name is Terry Ziggs.
Terror six.
We've
What?
Morgantha, she said we were naughty, awful children. She poked us with her nails. I hated it."
I think you've fared better than your companions, and I point to others.
And he starts crying and he says, Samantha.
Marge, this one's all you. I don't do good.
Okay, Tara, who's Samantha?
She was the last child that was taken by Morgantha out of the cellar.
Oh no, are they in the
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Thayron kneels down
mean,
by
the
that
kids are
child and
hungry.
tries to.
That's the most chaotically good thing I can think I could
It's
do.
not chaotic. Go ahead and feed the hungry kids. The meat pies to the hungry kids.
I mean, they're probably gonna end up being serial killers at this point.
Thayron kneels down in front of that child and outstretches his arms and offers the child a hug.
He hugs you and he says, "Do you have any food?"
There's pie.
No. No.
I don't have much. I think I probably have some rations of some kind.
Maybe.
Okay.
There's 10 kids.
Let me check.
There's pie.
There's pie. But there's pie.
How about we just get him back to the... Oh,
Yeah, I
yeah,
was gonna
I
say-
forgot about how long that hike was.
It was
Okay.
like
Well-
wine. I have fine red wine.
It will help them forget.
I have
Yeah,
the
we have so
ration.
much wine.
I have a water skin. I'll
I have
rations.
I like hardtack.
Oh my god.
Okay.
and I can give the
It's
kids
horrible.
water.
As you share your rations, do you have create food and water
No,
memorized?
I don't.
I do have rations.
As you share your terrible adventure rations with these starving children,
Hey, they'll take what they can get,
Terry
or they're not starving.
Terry looks at you and he says, Miss, would you take us back to our parents?
Do you have any idea where they are?
I think I remember the way back to them.
Like in this world?
Ye-
We've had a history
Yeah.
of not knowing what world we're in.
And he looks at you confusedly and he's like, I mean, yes, I think in this world, it's not far from here because Morgantha used to come and offer to help cure any ailments of the children in the town, and in exchange she would bring in these delicious meat pies.
What was the name of the
See,
town?
they've already eaten them. It's fine.
Exactly.
What was the name of your town?
Well, the name of the town is... It's a great question.
Oh, you got the DM.
Wardenwood.
Morningwood?
Morning, morning.
Warden
Very nice.
Wood.
It sounded like Morningwood.
Okay, I brought him nothing. I was thinking like, name the town Morningwood.
Warden Wood.
Oh,
Dave, down Morningwood.
Right now,
That boarded wood.
also known as.
And he says it's only about an hour from here.
oh my god.
It's only maybe a 2 or 3 mile hike from here.
What do you think you
Are-
can figure it out on your own?
How many of you are from boarded wood?
All of us.
Okay.
So
All right, we can take them back. I'm
I
okay with taking them
suppose.
back. But I'm also okay with feeding them a pie. They're starving.
Terry says, "Oh, that's wonderful," and he begins like
Go ahead.
bringing up children out of the cellar.
That's- you don't
And
need to
pretty
know.
soon the room is just like filled with you guys and
Starving
a
children.
bunch of starving.
Can I
The only
roll?
problem is, I don't remember. It has some effect.
I want to roll Arcana on that cellar to see, like, is it a TARDIS? What is going on?
Go ahead.
What effects?
Is it okay for me to say that?
That's a 23.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
You don't notice anything arcane coming from the basement.
They're known as dream pies.
Can you elaborate
Would
on
it be
that?
that bad for the kids to just...
See, the problem is they
Dream?
never affected me, but I've heard things about them.
Arkin, I mean this in the nicest way possible.
You're cryptic as fuck.
Yeah.
That in combination with the fact that we know you are part vampire, so
Well, there is that.
consuming human is
Very
not
aware.
completely out of the question.
Well, I mean, blood does strengthen me.
That's
I
my
guess
point,
technically
yeah.
Youngblood's blood in there at some point.
True.
I mean, there probably
Youngblood.
still is. Very good. Blood.
I honestly, I don't remember her before, but I have met her before.
You have lived some lifetimes.
True.
You have
And the
no
only
idea.
thing that I do remember is two sisters.
There's another hag.
Two.
Oh no.
She mentioned that her sisters would avenge her.
Oh no.
So,
Arkin, I heard her say sisters.
Yes.
I would just.
Don't remember their names, but I do remember the sisters.
So can we just recap real quick here? You got dragged by shadows out of camp through a bramble bush, were attacked by Ents, entered into Hansel and Gretel's goddamn motherfucking cabin, where you fought a hag who eats children and makes them into dream
And
pies.
knocked Theron unconscious twice.
Right.
And
Thank you.
killed,
And
killed
makes
Ismark.
potions.
Yeah, it makes potions.
And she has two sisters.
And she's
And now you have gotten these two sisters on our ass. Is that about
And they
right?
didn't want us.
Apparently, we're not.
well.
We weren't tasty enough.
I mean, they.
It's-
And you didn't show up.
we were sick.
Gregory,
Coats.
this is the. This is saying something for where we are. This is the darkest place.
I don't like that statement coming
well,
from the
Faymon,
life
you are a
cleric who
little
killed
dramatic
himself earlier.
sometimes, but we'll take your word for it.
The interactions that have developed between you guys just
Yeah.
really make this campaign.
Arena.
Yeah, yes, they were.
I kind of like slowly walk. Like I'm still trying to regain footing over to Arena, and I just say,
If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here right now.
Oh, I mean, your friends are right. You are quite dramatic. It's purely,
Poor Faymon.
it was purely, my duty. I could never watch a comrade fall in battle. I had to do something, you understand.
Of course, I just wanted you to know how that I am grateful.
How did you? I want to know. How did you save?
I healed him. He had been knocked unconscious, by her. And I saw the life fleeing from his eyes, and I knew I had to do something. I couldn't let him pass.
I say to you, she's in love with him.
I mean, probably. Have you seen him?
His guardian. I mean,
And his guardian and Phineas and Ferb and
And as you guys are having this conversation, because I don't think the Guardian lasts
I
forever.
do
No, 10 minutes.
want to investigate the hag
Okay.
because I kind of want to take something from her to prove that she's dead. Like for
okay.
her sisters, if her sisters follow us, I'm gonna be like, ha ha ha.
Yeah. Give me an investigation check.
Oh, and after what would it
For 15.
just
yeah, I was gonna say you should.
There's like a ring or something like that. or
What you
something.
find on her, you find a wand
Okay.
on her. You find a lot of wands in this campaign.
Yeah.
You find in her bag, like on her side, she has sets of manacles that are like big enough to fit children's wrists and ankles.
Nice.
Ouch.
And you find a bag of 20 silver nails.
Oh.
If you don't keep the nails,
Nails?
They might be.
Nails coated in
Yummy.
silver.
like nails or
No,
nails?
nails.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Coated in
Definitely taking
silver.
the nails,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll take the wand.
Okay.
I'm gonna do an Arcana check on it though, so I don't want to make sure I get like cursed or
Do
something.
you? Okay.
After she takes it.
After she picks it up, I should check to see if I curse myself.
Is Mark still injured?
Long term thing.
Yeah.
you know?
He's just healed
I
for
go
15
insane. I
points.
start craving children.
It happens.
Yeah.
He's injured, but not by much.
So I'm gonna approach Ismark and say, Ismark, I'm glad you were gonna do something. I'm gonna.
No, it's okay. Go ahead. I saw her roll.
Well, I have no idea if it's gonna
Yeah.
curse me because I rolled a 5.
Yeah. What do you say to Ismar?
Ismark. I kind of grab his shoulder and I'm like, we both almost didn't make it out of this house.
I think I died.
I almost did.
Well, that's better.
Thank Ilmatar that he saved you.
I don't. Was it Ilmatar that saved me, or someone else?
Hello.
Well,
I just
But he-
remember a soothing liquid being poured down my throat, and suddenly I felt a bit better.
no, I did Revivify.
Yeah, but also Gregory poured a greater healing potion down his throat while he was laying on the ground. But yes, you did revivify.
I mean, but
him.
Revivify
Yes.
is what brought him
You
back.
saved him from death. Yes.
Let me have my moment, Daryl.
I brought him back from death.
He just wants his moment.
All you did was give him some extra health.
I mean, I don't know that I believe in this Ilmater of yours.
It's okay. I hear that a lot.
But if he
It
works for
keeps
you,
coming
if he
back.
works for you, then he works for you.
Oh my Ilmatar. No, I get it. This comes
You
around
just
a
use
lot.
her name in
but-
vain?
But
Third name, I feel like.
I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we both could use a little restoration. And if you don't want Ilmatar's blessing, I understand. But I'm offering it to you freely.
I mean, if you're offering it freely, I have not once turned down a free gift from a comrade. And he pulls out his flask and he takes a nice swig from his flask.
So I cast Prayer of Healing on both of us. That's 2d8 plus 7.
Spicy.
So it's 21 additional hit points.
Full health.
Shit.
Full health for Ismark. Marge, as you pick up the wand, you feel it crackle under your fingertips, and you feel almost like a numbness in your fingertips. You're not sure what the wand is, though. Do you have the identify spell?
I
don't have it.
added Hag's wand to my backpack. So I
Yeah,
did put it in
that's
my
what
backpack
yeah,
so I
and
don't
that's
have
what
to
it'll
touch
be
it.
for now.
But and then I added the nails.
Okay.
I need to find a nail gun.
I'm going to use my Eldritch Sight to look around the room
You find
to
Next
see if
town.
there's any additional
I'm getting a nail.
sources of magic.
You don't find any other sources of magic in the room. You can obviously detect the various magical items of the party around you.
In her backpack,
You do notice a faint glow coming off of all of the children.
a faint glow.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's like a glow. There's like an aura around all of the children.
Interesting. Looking at her backpack,
Mhm.
is there a glow from there?
The wand?
Yeah.
Yes, the wand is glow. Yeah.
Taking a look at Rotavio.
Mhm.
Do I notice items?
You notice that he also has an aura around him. Does your detect magic give you the school of magic also?
Yeah, if I stare.
You notice illusion magic coming from Octavio.
What about the children?
The children, you sense almost like a latent bestial energy coming from them.
Interesting.
The only thing that have you ever encountered, well, I won't ask you. It seems oddly familiar, and you sense some form of bestial magical energy coming from the children.
Ricky, what exactly is your purpose? How did you get
My purpose, I am a tradesman. I live on the western side of Barovia, and I make my way back and forth across the country. I sell toys, and I was passing through Valaki on my way to Barovia and decided to stop and see Madame Ava. Her and I go way back. I love to sell toys to the Vistani children, and while I was there, I laid down to sleep one night after a few glasses of wine, and I wake up to find myself with your group here, fighting for our lives, which is not something that I typically do.
So you happened upon our group? You don't remember? They vividly remember being drug alive by these shadows.
Oh yes, the same thing happened to me, yes.
Okay.
In the middle of the night, I was woken up, wrapped around my face and body by shadow creatures, and dragged off into the woods. Quite a rude awakening, if you know what I mean.
Does everyone else remember waking up with this strange man whose name is Ricky?
Rotavio, yes.
He was here when we were released by the shadows.
And he was very helpful.
I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
Random people
I-
joining our
you know-
group does seem to be a bit of a habit these days.
I would like to walk over to Gregory.
Two random NPCs, not you, Dave.
Whisper to Gregory, like,
Ask him where he was in the camp.
So, where exactly were you in the camp? Because I was there, and we were all talking to Madame Ava. I don't remember you in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, I mean, I was there. You're welcome to roll, like an insight check to see if he's lying or not.
I feel like he's full of shit, but I honestly can't tell. You said insight?
Yes.
I honestly think everybody's full of shit.
That's a
All
19.
the NPCs.
As far as you can tell, he's been completely honest with everything he's told you so far.
Yeah.
He sells toys.
Were
he
you
travels.
hoping he was
He
lying?
sells toys. He travels across Barovia, and he was hanging out with the Vistani and got dragged off in the night with you guys.
We're like, what happened to us that we're this distrustful?
I know. We've got some trauma.
Gregory, he did so much to help us.
All
He
right.
did so much to help us in that fight.
Dayron, I believe you.
I fully believe you, but seeing as we were not part of it, I want to just check my
I know.
bases.
He's a stranger.
Yes, it is purely that.
We didn't know him either, but he proved himself in battle.
I think I'm more confused. Like, why were we summoned here? Well, not me. And Gregory. Why did we end up
Summoned
here? And none of us are children. Why did her shadows come take us?
Did you all talk to Madame Eva prior to this happening, or?
Not yet.
As you guys are having this conversation, Rictavio walks over to the mantle of the fireplace, and with his sword cane,
The kids.
with his sword
Yeah.
cane, yeah, the kids are just fucking. They're
They're eating the
Fuck.
pie.
Yeah, they made their way over to the pies, and they're
Crying.
he knocks over something that was on top of the mantle of the fireplace, and he passes it off to Thayron, and he says, "Does this mean anything to you?" And as you look at it, you see an emblem, and it has a windmill on it. And with the windmill is a raven.
I guess I would roll a history check. Can I also give myself guidance?
Not after the fact.
I think I can, because you didn't tell me the outcome yet.
An 11. Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think I can as long as I don't know the outcome.
You can give yourself guidance. You could also ask your group to.
Cleric doing cleric things.
Yeah.
That is a 13.
You do recognize the emblem. You have seen it before in the Durst house in Barovia.
It's familiar to me.
Would this all be part of the same
Seen it
people?
before. It was in the. I've seen it in the Durst house.
Oh,
The
windmill.
murder house.
So,
Yeah,
ho-
the
ho-
death house.
The death house.
But hold the phone for a minute here.
What?
What?
Hold the magical
Hold
phone.
the fantasy
Hold
phone.
the fantasy phone.
Hold the fantasy phone.
I'm not familiar.
I'm not either. The Durst house, the entire cult, I put that air quotes for the sake of it wasn't really a cult, like it had no purpose. Strahd himself made fun of it.
Yes.
So why would there be a continuation of a useless cult?
Arkin, give me a history check.
I remembered something.
What was that symbol on again?
So like a silver
Yeah.
like cameo.
Okay.
16.
Have you seen the windmill before? Yeah, in the past? You recognize the windmill. And it clicks that Morgantha is lying on the ground, that she says her sisters will avenge her, and that there is this impression of a windmill above the mantle of her fireplace.
I remember now where I met Morgantha and her sisters. It was at that window. It's real.
You've met Morgantha before.
Yes. I have a bad feeling we're going to meet her again.
She's lying on the floor next to us.
This is Barovia.
Shit.
Gregory casts fire spell, which just ignites her corpse.
And as you light her up in flames, the children around you all jump back from the fire.
It's okay.
Oh, we don't. I mean, we didn't like her, but we also don't like fire very much.
Fire is it's a healing.
This is an old, decrepit
Oh.
wooden cabin.
He didn't make me roll. He didn't make me roll. He's not gonna
Okay.
go.
It's wet, it's rotting, it's raw. It's not gonna
We
catch
I
very
think
well.
we should leave.
Yeah.
The cabin doesn't catch. The cabin doesn't catch.
Fine.
I'm
We-
guessing
I
that the
hey,
bramble
kids,
wall is gone.
Kids, you're gonna have to
Yes,
lead the way.
okay.
And Terry zigs.
As we walk out,
Yeah.
Arthur, Theron stays back, and actually, are there any drapes or anything on the
There's no,
windows?
it's not that fancy of a cabin.
It's cabin
Um,
in the woods.
There's
he
barely windows at this
he
point.
takes a chair
I haven't seen it.
and
I really
he
want to.
Theron takes a chair
Cabin.
and
A movie.
smashes it against the wall
Of the cabin?
of the cabin,
Okay.
and then takes the remains of the chair and throws it on the fire of her corpse.
Gregory kind of like
Give me
And then he
a-
smashes a table,
give me a Constitution saving throw.
Gregory's looking at Theron like
and Theron is
shit.
expressing himself.
Yeah. Give me a Constitution saving throw. There on.
What did he smash?
Table and chair.
22.
Oh shit.
You feel the sense of claws raking at your mind, and you see a flash of like raven's feathers cross your vision, and then it fades as you ignite the remnants of this chair and lash out in anger. You hear the voice of Ilmater in your head, and he says, I expect better of
Is he having an internal debate between Ilmatar and
you.
the Raven
His voice fades. And you're left feeling very alone with your emotions.
Marge.
He smashes as he takes a table and he if it is there like another object in the room that he can kind of
there's
pick up?
there's tables, there's a bed.
He picks up a table, like a small table, and he's like, "Where were you?" And he smashes that against the wall.
Marge just walks up to you and she's short, but she tries to put her hand on your shoulder.
She's
And
just
just
kind of
puts it there.
like she's poking his ribs.
Give me another Constitution saving throw.
18.
Again, you feel claws at your subconscious. You don't hear Ilmater's voice this time. Marge.
Marge casts.
Yeah.
Hold on. Marge casts Charmed Person
On Theron?
on Theron.
Okay.
It's the only thing I got to calm him down.
Give me an Arcana check, by the way.
16.
As you touch Theron on the shoulder, you feel the presence of multiple entities that almost feel like they're competing for his. You're not sure what, but you feel the presence of multiple entities around Theron. You cast Charm Person on him. Then Theron, I need you to.
Can I retract that and do another one? Okay.
Sure.
I'm actually gonna cast Protection from Evil and Good.
Okay.
Just because it would protect him against aberrations, celestials.
Yeah.
That's what I'm like thinking.
As you sort of like
Phase fan.
try to comfort him,
Do you have
Theron,
to pick which it is? Do you have to
No,
pick
no, no. It can be
good
any. It's
or
all of
evil?
it.
Okay.
No.
You feel like there was something at the edge of your mind.
Because you can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
cool.
as Marge walks up to you and tries to comfort you, initially, Marge, you're like, because you feel something around him,
Yeah.
and as you cast protection from good and evil on Theron, you feel whatever connection you were feeling, whatever was there in your mind, it is just severed instantly, and you are back, like your eyes are unclouded, and you're back in the room surrounded by your comrades.
Yeah, you did a lot of damage there. Do you want a meat pie?
He chuckles. Theron chuckles, and he kind of like straightens his cloak and adjusts his armor, and he says,
Thank you. I don't think I was myself.
No.
I think we should get out of here.
Felt really good. I needed to do that.
and I would assume that the house I would think the cabin is starting to catch on fire because that's
No.
what I was trying to do.
It did not catch on fire.
Okay.
Well, you know,
No, I mean, that's what I was trying to do was add kindling to the fire.
the fire on Morgantha's body is going. The house itself has not caught fire.
So we're all like in the house with the kids.
Yes.
Okay.
On the way
I
out,
just want
Uh-huh.
to burn this place to the ground.
I cast fireball at the house.
Fireball.
Yes.
Okay. 3rd level.
But I mean, like, do you know that that's what I was trying to do? Like,
You're saying it out loud in your character.
so you
I
heard
think
me
we
say
also
that?
have a habit of burning everything
No,
down.
yeah,
Like,
you
we-
burn a lot of
like
stuff.
it's part
Can
of
we
what
work
we
that a
do.
little bit? Like, as I'm walking out of the house with Marge, who is kind of guiding me, and I say,
I think I got this.
I just want to burn this place down.
Yeah. Theron, you needn't say anymore. And I tap you on the shoulder, turn around, and cast fireball at 3rd level. And I go,
3rd level.
And as you all are exiting the house,
Wait,
except for
were
Reptile.
all the kids out?
Yeah,
No, because Theron was waiting for everyone
Did we
else
do
to
my
leave.
head count?
He didn't want everyone else to see him. Theron needed to unload some pent up frustrations, and he was waiting for everyone else to leave
Yeah.
first. You kind of lingered and saw what I was doing.
Yeah.
as Gregory launches a fireball through the front door of the house, you just watch as the entire hut just goes up in a burst of flames. The fireball engulfs pretty much the entire hut, and you hear what almost sounds like a scream dissipate from the hut.
Marge is just like,
Yeah.
You old bitch, if we see you again, I'll do this to you all over.
There's no voice associated with it, but Theron and Arkin will recognize that the scream that came from the hut did sound like Drusilla's voice, or Morgantha's voice.
Theron just stands there and watches the place burn.
Theron, I do appreciate the chaotic shift in your nature, but it doesn't exactly feel like you. Is there something that you would like to
Are you guys having
discuss?
this conversation?
I feel like we're
in-
watching it.
Watching the house burn.
Yeah.
You see a tear run down Theron's face, and he says, I'm not.
I don't think I'm okay.
I don't think any of us are.
I don't agree with her. We're unaware of that we are unfamiliar, and not safe, and
So, I've never felt so much anger before. The things that happened in that cabin. It's out of my head.
Gregory picks up a smooth rock off the ground and hands it to Theron.
Here's your pet rock.
Whenever
Emotional support, right?
his name is Ferris. Emotional sport rock. Let's do this. Gregory goes to hand him this rock, and
No, I'm crying.
whenever I was angry or upset, didn't know how to handle it, I turned to destruction as a means of release. And it works to some effect, but the root of your anger and the root of your need for that release is what will truly deter it from growing. But I want you to take this rock, and whether or not you want to throw it at the house right now in anger, or you want to hold on to it as a symbolic gesture of this moment, is up to you.
Theron rolls it around in his hand and looks up at Gregory, and he's like,
Thank you. I appreciate the gesture. I think I'll hold on to it. Hold on to it for now.
Whatever you are feeling is what you should do.
and I put it in my pouch. Put it in my fantasy fanny pack.
You would have one of those.
You
As
do
you
definitely have a fancy fanny pack.
as you take this higher road, this road of calm and
Can I get inspiration? for this?
peace. Yeah. As you take this road of peace, you feel a presence in your mind.
Theron, Gregory.
Theron. You feel warmth like the dawning sun, and you feel the sensation of a man's voice in your subconsciousness. It doesn't speak any words,
Okay.
but you can feel that he's there. It does not feel like Ilmater,
Okay.
um,
Okay.
but you feel a warmth, and then it passes as you
Okay.
put the rock into your fantasy
I
pouch.
think I say to Gregory,
The something spoke to me before when I was unconscious. Something reached out to me in the darkness, and it wasn't Ilmater. I don't know what it was.
I know you and I haven't always seen eye to eye. At the end of the day,
Especially when it comes to religion.
at the end of the day, there are many voices in the lake of the dark. And these voices have a purpose, and you choose which voice you want to listen to. I have my own voices, and as do you. No matter who you are and what religion you follow, there is some semblance in those voices. Decide who you wish to follow, and let it be known to us. If you need a change in your character and who you are as a person, we've come far enough. We can't afford to be without you.
Okay. Thank you. We should go. I appreciate it. I think I need some time to think.
Okay.
We should go.
As you follow Terry through the
Ziggy.
woods, Terry
A little
Diggs,
zigs.
as you follow Terry through the woods, you make your way into a clearing, and Terry looks back and he says, Wardenwood's not far from here. Please, it's just a little further. I see you're having a very in-depth conversation, but we're almost there.
But it's not unusual. It's okay.
And as you are talking with Terry and the other children, you hear a howl pierce through the very early morning dim light of the woods. And I need all of you to give me a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom.
let's do an eye drop.
Alright.
No, that's not good.
That's a 7.
Oh.
10.
So 14.
17.
Theron and Gregory, as the
What does a black dot next to your saving throw mean?
means you have disadvantage.
Seriously?
Usually,
If you have a crit 20 next to it, it
Black
means you have
dot?
advantage.
See, I have +6 wisdom, but then I have a
super
black
weird.
dot.
Oh, I do.
I have
Oh.
+6 wisdom.
I think it means that it's added from other things, possibly.
maybe. Yeah.
Because
Because that would,
I have a really
you know what I
high
mean? That would
strength
make
right
that
now.
if I have +6.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Disadvantage.
everyone except for Gregory and Theron, you look around as this howl pierces the woods. Gregory and Theron, you freeze in terror as the sound hits your ears. You are currently paralyzed.
Gregory and Theron.
Gregory and Theron are.
Okay.
March is okay.
What are the results of paralysis?
You cannot move. You cannot take actions.
Can't take
You
action.
can't do anything. And as this happens,
Well, that's
Oh, can I
Not
do
great.
something or no?
not quite yet.
Okay.
As this happens, 4 of the children run off into the woods, screaming in terror.
Oh God.
oh my god.
Well, didn't know.
Now
personally.
March can do something.
Who's closest to me? It's Gregory and Theron, right? That are frightened.
Yes, and they're
Who's close?
They're at the back of the party. They were having a conversation as you guys were walking through the woods.
Okay. Well,
These are just going to be children for right now.
I am gonna. He probably look like that. He probably look
Yeah,
like
they're
that.
like emaciated and leading you
Can I
through the
move?
woods.
And, okay, yeah, we're not in initiative.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm moving back, and
Mhm.
both of my hands, I'm gonna cast 2 spells. I'm gonna cast protection from evil and good because they cannot be frightened if I do that.
Okay. They're not frightened, they're paralyzed.
I thought they were.
So
fear.
unless you
Okay.
have freedom of movement, I
Okay.
think freedom of movement.
I thought they were
would remove
terrified or
paralysis.
I don't think this would come into play. I do have Fey Interest.
Or restoration.
Basically allows
Yeah, I
me
don't have anything
to.
then.
I have advantage on being charmed or put to sleep. I'm assuming that wouldn't play.
Does
in.
not play
Okay, I
in
wasn't
this
sure
because
how
you were
were
paralyzed.
Okay.
Looking
Alright.
left and right, do I see any movement?
Give me a perception check.
Eight.
You do not notice any movement in the dim light.
I'm gonna cast like Arcana, or I'm gonna do an Arcana check.
Mm-hmm.
That was animal handling.
The most
You
useless
still have 2
skill in all of
points.
5e.
Pluses. That's the 21.
Unless you have
Your Arcana check reveals
Although it's a howl. So it might be
reveals
useful.
the same thing that Arkin noticed about the children in front of you, which is that they are glowing with a form of bestial energy that you have sensed
Okay.
before.
But I see nothing in the woods.
Are they
No.
dead? How do I feel like that?
The energy that you sense coming off of the children feels
We can
like
talk about later.
lycanthropy.
Ah,
Oh, they're werewolf babies.
little babies,
Yeah.
little pups.
And
Oh.
as you sense this, as you watch this sort of like aura coming off of the children, you hear, and
Oh,
out of the darkness sweeps this massive black shadow, which knocks Rictavio across the party into the ground, and disappears and turns back towards you, and howls cry out from around you as multiple
There they
werewolves begin.
Dude, I could have painted them. You kept asking me for werewolves. I'm like, I don't have werewolf.
And I need you all to give me.
That's it. Yeah.
7.
14.
I also got 7.
Oh,
twin.
aw.
Aw.
That's my favorite number.
She rolled it first, so she should go in front of me.
Roll. We'll do rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors, lizard spot.
Absolutely.
Rock, paper, scissors, lizard spot. Okay. I'm sorry. Give me your initiative. Roll your initiative, or tell me your initiative again. It was a 7 for Marge.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I got 7 after she got 7.
I don't think that matters.
Well, I
Arkin?
mean, isn't that how you determine which one of us would go first?
No.
Alright.
No, it's based off your dex modifier
Right.
after you tie Gregory.
14.
Let's get in practice roller skating.
That's not roller skating.
That's the next thing that need to come out is roller skates for your.
See, I'm just like that. I remember doing that like when I was like a kid, like when I was like 7. I remember
Yeah,
playing
it's back.
with decks.
Back now. It's fingerboarding.
God, that was
Yeah.
20 years ago. Holy
Yeah.
shit. When did we get old here? When did that happen?
We're not old.
We're getting there. We're gonna be 27 this year.
Okay. You guys are
I'm
getting
gonna be
old.
27 before you are. Stop it.
Do you guys,
A couple.
before we actually start fighting, do you guys want to take a quick
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I
drink
can
and bathroom break?
Yeah,
I could pee. I could pee also. All right. Yeah, we will take a quick like 5-10 minute break and come back.
Now,
We'll be right back.
Be
Now,
right back, ladies
I have
and
a
gentlemen.
question.
Welcome back
What's
to
your
D&D.
he, both Theron and
Yeah,
Arkin
I'm kidding. I thought
have not
it's
recovered,
multiple.
correct?
Yeah.
Correct. They
Oh,
they
I
not
have
rested.
2 spells left.
Oh, I understand.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's like run out.
I took the corona. I don't know what else is out there.
That was more than.
I have some
5 to 10 minute
Dogfish Head
break.
IPAs that
That's okay.
shouldn't be too strong too.
What was that?
Or not
That-
Dogfish Head.
That was more than a 5 to 10 minute break.
Lion's
A
Head.
little bit.
We
Yeah.
got distracted when I made
Lion's Head.
making cocktails.
Right.
Oh god, I hear Charlie. She's up here.
Yeah, Charlie.
Get her out of here.
Charlie.
Coax her out of the door. She'll whine at us.
Charlie, come on.
She can't hear.
Dexter.
You gotta like hold
Hi, buddy.
You gotta hold like a
I
chip
miss you.
for her or something.
Come on.
Dex.
She's following you.
Hey.
She can't hear. You guys all keep calling her. She's literally deaf.
I'm saying
I don't-
Dexter.
No, I meant
Okay.
Caleb and my dad keep calling for Charlie. She's actually deaf.
She followed.
Well, she followed because she was watching you.
Do you know if like tapping
Come on,
the wall
Dex.
helps?
No, she's
Vibration. She doesn't pick up.
I
on
mean, she can sense when you're walking on the floor around her,
Yeah.
but that's about it.
Got you a yingling there.
Hey, thank you, man. Have any of you guys been watching Carnival Row?
No, I haven't watched the
love
first season.
Laura.
Yeah, I
Season
love it.
2 is
Love
really
it.
good.
I watched the
Wait,
first
it's back
season.
on?
I did
Yeah,
not
there's
watch
season 2.
Yeah.
anything else.
They released the whole thing.
Netflix.
Netflix. Wait,
Yeah.
is it Netflix?
Yes. No, it's Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime.
Oh, sick.
Season
Okay,
2 is
cool.
really good. Now, we rewatched season 1
I
because
would,
it's been so
I
long,
would have to.
but I found that season 1 was hard to rewatch. It just felt slow rewatching it. So don't feel bad if you're struggling through season 1. You can skim it or whatever, watch a recap on YouTube or something.
Yeah.
But season 2 is really solid.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so back into it.
It's all about fairies and
As
I love that
Six.
show.
as Rictavio is launched to the ground by this gigantic werewolf, the children around you, you see their bones start to like crack,
Oh, gosh.
oh
and
no.
their fingernails elongate, and their teeth sharpen, and their eyes begin to glow slightly yellow. They don't change into full werewolf form, but they are no longer just children.
Wow.
As they surround you.
Not where.
The children surround us?
Yeah, you are surrounded by wolfy creatures. And up first in the turn order
Oh.
is Arkin.
Okay.
You wanted to bring the sugar.
Children.
I know.
Yes,
I don't think they're children anymore.
I do.
You might be able to reach. They might.
You can't say anything, you're paralyzed.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm paralyzed. Right. Sorry. I forgot I was paralyzed.
I like the roleplay, but you're.
I just really want to roleplay, man. You know, I just really want to be in character. And you're the DM is stifling my creativity.
Sorry.
Actually, I'm in the right position now.
No, it's fine. It gives
I
me
love it
more
when he
time to
says that.
focus on.
Ah, we're in the right position.
It gives me
for
more
a
time to
lightning
focus on
bolt
this.
through all the children.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This werewolf,
Yeah.
and this one
Yes.
all need to make a charisma saving throw. DC 16 as I cast Bane on them.
It's Bane.
Bane gives them disadvantage on
Yeah.
attacks and saves.
The
Just makes it harder for them to.
this werewolf
Uh-huh.
and that werewolf fail their saves, and your bane, like the magical aura, just like clutches them and sinks into them almost like swords. This werewolf, you see the swords like try to go into it, and then they just disappear.
Actually, it's a D4. They subtract a D4 off
Yeah.
their rolls.
It's the opposite of bless.
Gotcha.
Yes. And then I will actually
Retreat backwards.
retreat backwards to the group.
End of turn.
Yeah. I gotta save my quickens.
Up next is this werewolf here. As she looks at your party, she says in like human voice, even though she's in wolf form, "The children belong to me." And she rushes at the group. She is going to attempt to bite you, Marge.
Okay, guys. I got some hit points.
Okay.
22 to hit.
Yeah. Well, she hit.
You take 14 points of piercing damage,
Ouchie.
and I need a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, it's fine. Everything's fine. Okay. Oh no.
You feel as this werewolf bites you in your shoulder, you feel cold begin to seep from the wound and across your body, and you just, like, your teeth, they hurt for a moment, and your fingernails hurt, and then it passes.
Okay.
She is then going to take her powerful leap action, and she is going to leap to the other side of the party, and she is going to slash at Arkin. 21 to hit.
Oh yeah.
You take 13 points of slashing damage. And a 14 to hit.
I am good at shield.
Okay, as a reaction.
Yeah.
So then the 14 does not hit.
Correct.
Okay. The first flash of her claws rip you open across your chest, and the second one, you're able to like bring your hands up in time and magically shield yourself, and her attack falters against your shield.
Can I react verbally to that?
Yeah.
The children are yours?
Children are mine.
We were escorting them to Boarded Wood. Is that where you're from?
She take.
Are these your children?
Not by birth. By right. And I'll say that that's all you can say for this round.
So not what I expected.
Up next, one of the children turns and lashes out at Ismark. Ismark takes 11 points of slashing damage from the wolf child. And you notice in quick succession, many of the wolf children begin to turn and rush at the party members.
Oh shit. Yeah.
And they begin. I'm just gonna like summarize their turn all together because they're initiative was like all together before the next person, they began like slashing and biting at the party. Ismar takes another 6 points of damage as one of the children slashes him. Arena takes 12 points of damage. And you see Arena is bloodied as one of the wolf children lashes out at her several times. Rictavia on the ground takes 6 points of damage. And Arkin.
I'm now at 16.
Your AC 16?
Yeah.
You take 12 points of slashing damage. And that is going to be the wolf children's turn, which means up next is Gregory's turn.
So what save do you need me to make?
What save do I need you to make?
I'm paralyzed.
Your turn, it's the start of your turn now. You're no longer paralyzed.
Okay.
You were just paralyzed at the beginning. You're paralyzed for one turn.
If they're your children, you can have them.
Give me... Well, one, does anybody else react to that statement?
No.
Am I still paralyzed?
You are not paralyzed.
That's not
Okay,
the start
then
of his turn.
Then I...
It's not the start of his
I'll
turn.
let you guys have this conversation.
Can I look for the
Hang on.
child that I hugged when I helped him out? Of...
Yeah, sure. It's the one that just bloodied Arena.
I look.
Terry Ziggs.
I look at Terry. And I say,
Terry, we freed you from a dungeon in that cellar. Why would you turn on us now?
And
You're not your enemy, Terry.
as you say that to Terry,
and I don't have a guard up. Like I'm saying that like completely like, you know, open and unguarded. I'm saying that in an unguarded.
as you say that to Terry, he looks at the massive werewolf that is attacking Arkin and he says, Victoria, what do we do? And she looks at you and she says, you will be my children.
Absolutely.
She says, without contest.
No, without contest. I have no qualm about this scene as we just pulled out of the basement. Yeah.
And Terry looks at you, Theron, and he says, I don't want to go with her.
Oh, God.
Daryl.
Victoria, this gigantic werewolf, looks at you, Gregory, and she says, I will take my children.
Can we have that one? I point to Terry.
Oh, my God.
Give me
Oh, my God.
You can have everyone
a
but Terry.
persuasion check.
This is 16.
Terry the wolf pup.
Victoria looks at you, Gregory, and she goes, we'll part with one child.
Lovely.
And she she lifts her snout up into the air and she howls again. I need everyone to give me another wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh no!
You just fucking leave.
We're gonna roll dice.
That's okay.
Ah,
My dice don't work.
that was the one.
Arkin,
No.
I got a 10.
23.
23. Arkin is not paralyzed. The rest of you are paralyzed as Victoria and the other wolf children and the other 3 werewolves move off into the night, leaving Harry Ziggs. Is he your new favorite NPC that's gonna accompany the
He might
party?
be.
Yeah.
He's gonna be our what was that kid on the train?
Oh yeah. Oh my god, what's his
An
name?
adventure zone?
Yeah.
An adventure zone?
I don't remember his name. It wasn't Billy or.
Hi, sirs.
Angus,
Yeah.
Yeah, Angus
Yes,
McDonald.
Angus.
Oh my
He's
god.
gonna be our Angus McDonald.
Harry. Hello, sirs. Terry's facial features, as your paralysis begins to wear off, and Rictavio stands up. Ricky. Terry's facial features begin to change back. His teeth normalize. His fingernails shrink back, and he shakes his head. He says, wow, that was really something. You guys are like magical and stuff.
All right. So, what are you a werewolf? What?
Well, I don't know. That's never happened to me before.
That's never
Oh.
happened to you.
So when we were in the basement at that lady's house,
Yep.
she kept feeding us these potions, and she said it would cure everything that we were sick from. But then some of the children started feeling even sicker.
Arkin, what the fuck is going on?
I honestly expected him to turn into a raven.
Okay, explain.
That doesn't help.
Arkin,
What? Why?
why? Just why?
Let's just say the raven is a strong symbol in Barovia,
Sure.
and we will encounter some were-ravens.
So this doesn't sound like a were-raven though. This sounds like
Like I said,
wolf.
this is not what I expected.
Oh, I'm not a werewolf, mister.
The what?
I just
name
get
of-
hungry sometimes.
No, what's
All
wrong?
right, let me get you a Snickers.
I'm not myself when I'm hungry.
Wait, so to be fair, he was clawing at Arkin.
I didn't mean to, though. Victoria
Actually,
made me.
He called that.
You have no room to talk here. I saved his ass. You have no room to talk.
And Arena coughs, and like she's got this wound that's bleeding from her neck, and she's like, "It's nothing. He didn't mean anything by it."
No, wait,
And
so,
she cure wounds her neck.
what
Please
did
don't punish the
claws-
lad.
What did the claws look like? Did they look like raven
I mean, he
claws
looks
or
like a werewolf. He
claws?
looked like a wolf.
like a wolf.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I don't think he was fully turned into a werewolf. I think the witch was giving them something, maybe infected with werewolf blood, that was changing them over time.
Can I do a history check to see if I would know anything about like that has to be like a magical recipe or something.
Gregory, I have a potion that she gave me that I didn't use. Here.
I pull the potion out of my pouch, and you could maybe use some kind of spell to investigate the potion. I
Yeah,
have.
we're not sure what it is.
Great idea. Two things. One, why are you just now telling me this?
Because
Two.
when you came into that cabin, I was on my deathbed.
Yes, but you and I had quite the heart-to-heart, and I gave you a pet rock outside the cabin. But
It's a nice rock. I saw it myself.
moving on. Okay, so
Ismark looks at you and he goes, "Where's my
do you want a history check or an arcana check, or I'm basically just trying to figure out like what is she doing that triggered this even minor level of like improving?
Marge can give me a history check.
Okay.
Get it, Marge?
True.
That's not a good roll.
You
Six.
you
I
know
hear her on.
No, it is a 6.
Yeah.
It's literally a 6.
Yeah.
you know that it has something to do with werewolf blood, that she was perhaps feeding the children or something, or injecting into the children, but she was essentially running experiments on some of the children and then cooking some of the children into the dream pies.
Can I do an Arcana check on the vial?
Yes.
Well, fuck me. That's a 9.
We're not doing very well.
I could give you some guidance before he reveals the outcome,
Sure.
if that's okay. So I'll give you guidance. So you try to figure. Well, literally, I'm holding the potion in front of you, and you're kind of struggling to discern it. So I give you some guidance.
Yep. That's
So a
plus
D4.
4.
Yeah.
Plus a d4.
That's a 1.
All right. It's a 10.
Oh my
got it.
god.
It's poison. It's not blood. It is just,
Well,
it is poison.
So Gregory, we kind of knew that already, right? Because I
Gregory-
didn't use it.
Gregory throws the vial.
Well, and you can remember, she was trying,
What?
she was trying to get you guys to drink it before, like she was telling
told me
you
it was a health
going
potion.
right, she was telling you it was going to heal you
Yeah.
because you guys were fighting the root monsters outside the house and you were injured, and she said she had potions to heal you and she was trying to get you to drink one, and that's when everything went to shit and you guys started fighting.
I'm fucking over this. I was woken up at 3 in the goddamn morning to hike and follow random tracks to put Arthur's ass in a fucking tent because I couldn't wake him
Hey,
up.
were you dragged through the forest in the middle of
No,
the
I
night?
wasn't.
No,
I also did.
you were able to walk. You walked in the middle of the night.
Ismark says,
We were
gentlemen,
drunk.
gentlemen, can we please drop this werewolf child off at his home, let his parents deal with him, and go back to the Vistani camp where everything was better, please?
Absolutely.
I love this plan. I love the dialogue. I love the interaction. You're very passionate. It's good. I love passion in a man. But can we please get rid of the wolf child and get my sister to Valaki?
I mean, I
Please.
to use that language right in front of the poor kid.
I don't give
Terry,
Strahd's taint a lick if the kid hears me
I'm
say
pretty
that.
sure he knows what he is.
So Marge is just looking at the kid.
kid, you're
Just
you're
like-
okay.
Ziggy,
Yes, ma'am.
are you saying these kids they're not gonna make it, are they?
Well, if they're big with Victoria now, I think they're probably just gonna be werewolves.
It's just they're not gonna die?
I mean, eventually, I suppose we all die.
All right.
All right. Well,
All right.
kid, you're too young.
I think
to
we can
be-
get rid of Terry now.
Yeah. Kid, you're too young to be going through an existential crisis. So
What's existential?
I'll take
Doesn't
care of you.
matter.
I'll take care of you, kid. Just
Okay. Can I just go home now?
Yep, go.
Bye bye, Ziggy.
Really?
Are we close?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He takes off running
Oh, okay.
through the woods.
All right.
Towards Border.
All right.
It's now time for our awkward werewolf.
We did not do well.
Terry. He's going.
We can probably just
Terry,
follow our
Ziggy.
drag marks back
Whatever.
to
Yeah.
the original campsite.
Or if the DM.
Yes, and now it is brighter light, so you are able to track your way back.
Cool. We're
towards
back at the campsite.
Not yet. As you
I like that try.
as you make your
What
way
did I
back
Yeah.
through the woods, you reach a familiar point along the roadway right before it branched down towards the encampment. It's a crossroads, and what you notice this time as you approach the crossroads is there is a gallows a very like makeshift gallows with a single body hanging from the gallows. And Arkin, as you look at the gallows, you see the hanging corpse of your mother, Alisan. Right? That's her name?
Yes,
And or
Alisan.
Annalise.
Annalise. It was
And
close. I was not going to push it.
I'm doing my best here.
No, I just
And
thought it wasn't dumb like
Gregory.
and Allison.
Gregory, you see
Allison Hightower?
you see the corpse of Ismark hanging from the gallows with arrows sticking out of him. Marge, you see the little girl who you helped back at the Black Rose Inn, whose parents belonged to your guild, and she was terrified. You see the little girl's corpse hanging from the gallows
That was like second episode.
with her entrails hanging out to the ground. And Theron, what you see as you look at the gallows is you see the beaten corpse of Ilmater open wide with gashes down his forearms, with bite marks in his neck, and with his chest flayed completely open so you can see all of his internal organs. Each of you receives this different vision
I was just gonna say I was
image
gonna
as you look at the gallows.
I immediately reach out with my hand, and another hand forms and grabs a dagger from one of my sheaths and slashes the rope.
as
And I run up to the body as it drops.
as the rope slices and the corpse falls to the ground, what you see is the shape no longer looks like your mother. It just looks like an older Barovian man that was strung up several days prior, and is now dead on the ground with a severed rope around his neck.
I hold up as I could when that happens.
What do I see? Do I see Ilmater being cut down by him?
Yes. You all see the person that you witnessed being cut down from the gallows and dropping to the
Can I
ground.
do a perception check?
Sure.
The illusion is broken.
No, that's not good. That was a nat one.
Can I
What the
roll?
hell?
Can I roll perception?
Yes.
Here's the welcome.
And what you hear as
I mean, that's not awful.
as you all are like looking around in the woods, Arkin, you've rushed up to this corpse to find that it is not your mother.
Right.
It is just some man dead on the ground. You hear a laugh ring out through the woods around you. And the laugh does not sound familiar to any of you except for maybe Arkin.
Okay.
Has Arkin ever met Strahd before?
Yes.
The campaign? The laugh does sound familiar to you. It sounds like Strahd's voice. And it just,
I
it just
will-
disappears on the wind.
I will yell out, Strahd!
And you don't get any response from the woods around you.
Well, I'm assuming we all saw something.
Now you all saw something, and now you all see the same man's corpse laying on the ground.
Where are we at in terms of like where we were walking from to how close we were to
The
camp?
corpse is like here. It's safe to assume you're maybe only like an hour away from the camp at this point. You can see the pathway in the distance that leads down by the river towards the camp. Down by the river.
Arkin,
What did you see?
something I'd like to keep to myself, but someone that I hold near and dear to my heart, with arrows through them strung up.
Yes, my brother was strung up.
Is this a normal occurrence for Barovia?
This is normal for Strahd. Strahd likes to play with his prey.
And Rictavio steps forward and he says, "The devil lurks everywhere. I've encountered his magics on my travels through Barovia as well."
That was his laugh, wasn't it?
It sounded like it to me.
I think calling this pompous bastard of a leech the devil may be a bit egotistical of itself.
I don't know, you've never met him.
I haven't, but you can't fear what you haven't.
I suppose that is true. Arena steps forward and she says, "Brother, I saw you dead, hanging in the gallows just a moment ago." He turns back to her and he says, I saw you too, sister. I think this evil Dark Lord is trying to play tricks on our minds. We need to get back to Madame Ava as soon as we possibly can. Maybe she can shed some light on the matter."
All right. And with that, we're back at the camp.
Yes, you make your way. You make your way back through the woods, back down the pathway to Madame Ava's camp. Gotta jump between a lot of maps here.
Michael, that was one of the weirdest cocktails I think I've ever had.
Yeah, no, it's delicious.
But how did you feel about it?
Honestly,
really liked it.
Yeah.
kind of loved
I really
it.
enjoyed it. I really did.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those cocktails that like I really needed, like if I was gonna eat sushi, I needed it to be like super fatty tuna.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was
Very good.
It was delightful. Or like a super salty, like a pork belly taco.
Oh yeah. Ooh,
I like the sound
really
of
that.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Maybe
make
we
some.
can do like a taco night.
Yeah, for that.
Well, after I got that picture from Caleb of us playing D&D while eating sushi, I'm like, that was
Oh, yeah.
really good. Back at
Come on,
Andrew's
we
place.
used to do the sushi nights all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, we used to.
What was it like?
It was half price
Discounted
sushi.
on the-
Yeah,
on
it was
Wednesdays.
half price sushi.
And as you make your way back down to the camp, you find an old woman standing outside one of the tents. You recognize her as Madame Ava, who you met very briefly.
To be fair, March would be checking on Arthur.
Yeah.
Arthur is conscious at this point.
Okay.
But he's
Little
still,
foggy,
still
maybe?
pretty out of it.
All right. All right.
And Madame Ava says, "I have been waiting for you all. We have much to discuss, you and I." As she sort of like surveys the group, she says, "Perhaps we should begin with some introductions." And she looks at each of you, and as she looks at you, she says, "Arkin Relgar, a
Yes.
pleasure. Gregory Smith,
Hail and well met,
enchanted.
I'm sure.
Marge, the gnome.
I know.
I sense you are meant to be here this night. Theron Stormmoon.
It's a pleasure.
We have yet to determine that.
I feel like maybe I was supposed to have died several times
I mean,
between now and
I would say once.
There's much for us to discuss, as I said. And she says, I would like to do a reading for you. But first, please, join me in my tent. I'm sure some of you have questions that you need answered.
Ready?
And she beckons you all towards her tent at
Together?
the far side of the encampment. Yeah, together. As you step into Madame Ava's tent, a cloth table is before you with candles and bones and feathers. Many magical tomes lay around the table near you, and she says, "Before we do a reading, I would like to give you an opportunity to ask any questions of me that you might. I cannot promise that I can give you all of the answers that you seek, but I will do the best within my power.
How long have you been in Barovia?
I have been in Barovia since the beginning.
Dear God, you might be more cryptic than I. Can you give me an estimate in years or some measurement of time?
I have lost track over the ages. I have met many travelers, and some I've met over again. I have lived many lifetimes in Barovia.
Did this mystery that is Barovia, the recurring visions, did these things predate the arrival of Strahd?
No. He was the arbiter of all of our fate.
What is your relationship with Strahd?
My business is my own, but I have known Strahd for his entire life.
Do we know how old Strahd is?
You know that he's hundreds of years old.
So we can assume Madame Eve was older.
And she says she's known him for his entire life. So theoretically, his life even before he became a vampire.
Madam Ava, you look real good for your age.
Oh, thank you, Doc. I have a skincare routine.
Madam, where did...
Retinol. Retinol's my secret.
If you have known Strahd his entire life, but Barovia did not become what it is before his arrival, where did Strahd come from?
Strahd came from Barovia. Barovia was a land before it was a prison.
What is our purpose here?
That does remain to be seen.
Does
Some would say your purpose is twofold. Strahd would like you to believe that your purpose is to be his plaything, and perhaps, if he deems you worthy, his successor. The rest of us
successor?
hope for you to liberate Barovia from his curse by destroying the beast once and for all.
Did he make Barovia into a prison?
He himself did not make Barovia into a prison.
So there is someone else who holds all the cards here.
It is interesting that you use that phrase, and you see that there are decks of cards
I would assume so.
on her table.
Right.
She says,
Girl's gotta be doing some tarot.
she says,
Tarot?
Strahd brought this fate on himself, and in
Curse
his
the land.
curse, it spread to the land and the rest of us.
Was it for love? It's always for love.
It was.
Ah, fuck it.
Madam, I have a different question unrelated to these about Strahd.
Ask your question, cleric.
I recently, in a battle, I was knocked down. as I lost consciousness, I heard the words of a woman. She clarified that, and then you may know
And
that
she stops you. She says, "You sound a bit hoarse.
Can you fix that, please?
Lift your chin, son." And she reaches out and she touches your neck, and she casts whatever.
Heal vocal cords.
Whatever.
Greater restoration, and your vocal cords knit themselves back together, and your scar disappears on the side of your neck. And she says, "Oh, that's better. Your
Shoot.
voice was grating on me horribly.
now I have
Please.
to remember what they run you.
Please speak normally."
That I don't.
No, you don't have to speak anymore. Be yourself. Be
My
yourself.
lady, thank you.
Oh my god.
Oh, I cannot claim to be your lady. But tell me more about this woman's voice that you heard in the darkness.
I can't. I forgot what my voice sounded like. This. Thank you
You're quite welcome.
from the bottom of my heart. Madam, as I said, I was recently knocked down in a battle with
It's a little deeper.
a little deeper.
Oh my god, stop it!
I think it's like
Is it
it's somewhere
I mean,
between
it's not Korak.
it's somewhere between Korak and your normal voice.
All right. Well,
Does that make sense?
should I try something like this?
Yeah, I like that.
Alright.
I think that was about it.
So,
We all forgot what Theron sounded like.
all right. So, what happened was as I was losing consciousness,
Yes.
this woman's voice spoke to me, and while I am a cleric of Ilmater, and I know an unusual god in this land, and not one that is known.
Aww.
Oh, look at that.
Anybody else need anything? I think
No,
we're
thank you.
good.
Thank you.
She told me that
GG.
that my purpose is not done,
When I think of Michael and Shannon, I think of G&T's.
and
It's like
that
weed. Yes.
that she is not done with me yet, and that I should seek out someone called the Morning Lord. But it wasn't the Morning Lord speaking to me. As I said, it was a female's voice.
And Madam Ava takes a card and flips it upright and looks at it, and then slides it back into the deck, and she says, "Very interesting. It seems like you have multiple deities vying for your attention at the moment. Who do you serve currently?"
The god Ilmater, the broken one.
It took you a moment to answer that question. I sensed doubt in you.
He is hard to reach.
Many
Here.
deities are hard to reach in Barovia, darling.
But here especially.
The voice that you heard call out to you in the darkness, we call her the Night Mother. It is interesting to me that she would tell you that the Morning Lord was looking for you. They don't exactly work hand in hand, but I think it is safe to say that you have some difficult choices ahead of you to make, and you may need to decide who you choose to serve while you're here in Barovia. And she looks at the rest of the group and she says, "What other questions do you have?"
I've been questioning what reality I'm in. I feel like I just escaped the castle in the hills above. I feel like I'm running from there, yet I'm here. And I don't understand.
She says, hold out your hand, my son. And as she inspects your hand, she says, fascinating. You have multiple lifelines on your hand. Do you have memories that you feel belong to you, but at the same time feel like they might be someone else's?
They feel like they're mine, but I don't understand why I have them.
And
I know things that I should know. I've experienced things that I haven't experienced here.
and she says, Strahd's curse seems to be affecting you uniquely. I think you have multiple realities that are trapped in Barovia simultaneously. And I think maybe they're bleeding into each other, and you're experiencing yourself living a different life.
It's weird because I don't remember anything from here.
Oh no, I don't think that you and I have met before. I would remember it.
No, I have not met you before. In fact, I remember specifically going past this route.
Well, your party was idiots. No, just...
That is true.
He's not.
They are. Yeah, that's
It's your other party.
Right.
the other party are idiots.
They don't watch
She
us.
says, no, you and I have certainly not met before, but if you have the ability to take your memories to your other self as well, and not just the other way around, I would be fascinated to meet this other Archon.
I will let you know some. I'll send a raven.
Perfect.
Hmm.
What other questions do you have before we do our reading?
I have another question, but it's more private.
Oh, we can speak afterwards, of course.
I personally don't have any additional questions. I'm interested to see what information you can offer us into what is our true purpose here.
And she looks at Marge and she says, you have something in your possession.
It's just an ass.
I sense a gift in you that maybe you're aware of, maybe not. But I can feel the cards that you hold. Pull them out, child.
Well, Marge, that's a question.
Mm-hmm.
So before we get into all that, what we need to know what this wand does. The Hack's wand.
Oh, quite simple, yes. And Madame Ava casts Identify on the wand. It is a wand of paralysis.
Do I know how many uses?
You can add it to your inventory. It should be an item that you can add.
Usually it's either a couple of uses with a short rest, or it's a
Yeah.
couple of uses and it disappears.
Okay.
Yeah, the Wand of Paralysis has 7 charges. While holding it, you can use an action to expend one of its charges to cause a thin blue ray to streak from the tip toward a creature you can see within 60 feet. The target must succeed on DC 15 Constitution saving throw or be paralyzed for 1 minute. And they can repeat the
I'm
save.
glad I
each of their
investigated
turns.
her.
So yes, Madame Ava is quite able to identify your magic wand.
Straight from the tip.
Just the tip.
Yes, a
Streak
blue
from the
ray streaks from the tip.
Just the tip.
Just only the tip of the wand. The tip of the tongue, the teeth.
Oh my god.
Did anybody else have to do choir and
I didn't think I had
tip of the tongue and
Middle
teeth?
school, homeschool.
Yeah,
homeschool.
several of you. She says, "My darling Marge, would you be so kind as to pull out your Taraka deck?"
Yeah, outside of game,
Mm-hmm.
are you aware that we're not streaming the map?
I am aware that we're not streaming that.
Look
Yeah.
at
I
that.
don't think we ever do.
Sometimes. Every once in a while.
Sometimes.
Just to know.
Marge, darling, would you pull out your cards for me? Have you been done Taraka reading?
No, I don't think I have.
Well, would you like to do this one?
Yeah, sure.
Do you want to?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's what I will have you do. I will have you look through the cards and separate the cards with a crown from all of the rest. There's a high deck and a low deck. The crown cards should be all the way at the other end of the deck. I think I already separated them.
Yeah.
And I will have you shuffle the high deck separately from the low deck, if you wouldn't mind. And as you begin looking through the cards, Marge, and shuffling them, Madame Ava explains to the party, the cards are your fate in Barovia. Even I, with all my years of wisdom, do not know everything, but the cards tell me the things that I need to know. I give travelers advice and insight onto how they may defeat Strahd and liberate themselves from this place.
Has anyone succeeded?
In my years, I have never seen anyone completely destroy Strahd. But perhaps you will be different. I sense destiny about you. And she looks specifically at Marge when she says destiny.
God.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
Oh no, not
Oh,
me.
no. Oh, no.
Alright, they're shuffled.
Okay. And Madame Ava reaches out a hand and she says, I give you the gift of the Vistani. Please draw 3 cards from the lower deck. And you're going to display them at west, north, and east. And please take 2 cards from the high deck, and you're going to do south and then central.
South.
That's okay.
Oh, then central.
Alright.
Okay.
And Madam,
Wait, guys. Okay,
Yeah,
my
go ahead.
central is Raven.
Yeah.
Okay, let's.
Wow.
she says to the first card, which is the Western card, she says, this card tells of history. Knowledge of the ancient will help you better understand your enemy. And which card do you have there? On
Swashbuckler.
the left, the swashbuckler. What is the suit? What does it look like? It should be in the corner.
It looks like a woman with like flames coming out of her hair.
Can I see?
I mean, it's a 1, but
Oh, coins. Okay, that's coins.
where's coins?
The,
You know-
in the top right, top left corner. There are 4 suits. There's
Oh,
coins,
that's just that is
sword.
a coin.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, it's a coin with a woman's face on
Got
it.
it.
You said swashbuckler.
Yeah.
Madame Ava says, those who like money, yet give it up freely. Likable robes and rapscallions. And you'll have to bear with me here because I literally didn't know what you guys are going to draw.
Right.
This changes the entire fate of the game,
Oh boy.
Wow.
depending on what you
Now we got Raven.
She says, I see the skeleton of a deadly warrior lying on a bed of stone flanked by gargoyles.
Okay.
Okay.
And that is what, my history?
You don't know yet.
Okay, I don't know what these mean.
She tells you basically something cryptic about where this item,
Do
the
you
first
have this written
item.
down, or should I like?
I'm also
I'm
taking
gonna
notes.
rewatch it.
Yeah, and I'm also taking notes
Oh,
because
okay,
I
okay,
need
okay.
to remember
I
this
know.
too because I didn't know what you were going to draw.
I just wrote what the cards are.
Got it. Okay.
So the first card is the swashbuckler.
Got it.
This card tells of the knowledge of the ancient that will help you
Got it.
better understand your enemy. So it tells of an item that will give you insight into Strahd and his weaknesses.
And is this prediction for all of us, or is it just
This prediction is for all of
So
you.
it's, oh,
She's
screw
just allowing Marge to draw the card.
Gift.
Yeah, and basically channel her gift. She says, please, child, the second card. This tells of a powerful force for good and protection, a holy symbol of great hope.
Sword.
The shepherd and the suit is it's not a sword.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? That's not
Yeah,
what
there's
it's-
swords. Yep. And
I
it's
think
the
it's a
shepherd.
curve. I think it's a curve.
Oh, like a.
Oh, doesn't look like a sword.
It doesn't.
Let me see. Oh, that is, I think, glyphs.
Okay, let me say.
Oh, okay.
The shepherd.
Yeah.
Four of glyphs. And she says, this card tells of a powerful force for good and protection, a holy symbol of great hope. And as you show her the four of glyphs, she says, the shepherd. Find the mother, she who gave birth to evil.
Lilith?
I know, that's what I want to go for.
Mother of all demons?
Good question.
So that
Yes.
life on Frasier.
So, a protection, a symbol of protection, a holy symbol of great hope, is found with the mother who gave birth to evil.
Yeah. Sounds like both.
Or think where you are,
Right, but.
Strahd's mother.
Mm-hmm.
You need to figure out who that is.
It's Lilith.
It's Madame Ava. No, just kidding.
The third card, to the east. She says, this is a card of power and strength. It tells of a weapon of vengeance, a sword of sunlight. What is the card?
The Elementalist, and it's the 5 of its pentagram.
5 pentagrams, yep. I think it's called stars in this, but it's
Oh, okay.
You said the elementalist?
Yeah.
Yes. She says, the 5 of stars, the elementalist. The treasure is hidden in a small castle beneath a mountain, guarded by amber giants. That is where a weapon of vengeance, a sword of sunlight, is hidden.
I go over to my pack and reach for the other map
Mm-hmm.
that.
You pull out the weapon.
Right.
He's had it the
That
whole
was
time!
Yeah.
my
You just didn't know what it was.
And I lay out and I pull out the Amber Temple.
She says, I believe it's one and the same, yes.
We had found this map.
Yes.
Alright, well that
Well.
that feels
That'll help.
You found
How's
that at the
that?
Burgermaster's mansion, didn't you?
Burgermaster, Master.
The Burgermeister Master
Yeah.
that had the Ember Temple
Yeah,
on
yeah.
it. Yes.
Thank you, Arkin. You finally that wasn't so vague. That was
says-
actually very helpful.
She says,
That was quite direct,
That
actually.
was very direct and helpful.
He
if you
appreciated
go
that.
there, you will find a great weapon that will aid you in defeating Strahd the Devil.
Okay, so can you just go? So my brain hasn't.
Yes.
So this one is
The
this is
first
the
card.
weapon. This is the
The first card is
ancient knowledge.
Ancient Knowledge.
Okay, and then the north.
That is a symbol of protection and
Got it.
good,
Okay.
which Theron should understand the meaning of that because Theron constantly keeps a symbol of protection and good on him.
Okay.
And then the third one is a weapon,
Okay.
a sword of sunlight.
Madam,
Would that be considered the icon of Ravenloft?
No, I cannot. I'm bound not to reveal specific details.
You're
to
bound to be cryptid?
Yes.
Jesus Christ. Fantasy.
The same curse that affects this land affects me and my magic as well. She says it is a holy symbol that will aid you if any of you are worthy to bear it.
Hmm.
She says the fourth card, my dear. This sheds light on one who will help you greatly in your battle against
So
darkness.
cool. Okay, so it's crowns, and it's the seer,
The seer.
which makes sense. The seer will help us, which we're at the seer at the moment.
I don't know.
Every generation.
This language. As you flip over the seer card, she says, "Look for a dusk elf living amongst the Vistani. He has suffered a great loss and is haunted by dark dreams. Help him, and he will help you in return."
Dust Elf. Dust Elf?
Dusk.
Dusk
Dusk.
elf.
Dust elf.
A dust elf.
It's an elf on the shelf.
Yeah. The elf on the shelf. Find the elf on the shelf. He will help you in your
You
battle
just
against
walk in
Strahd.
and it's Buddy the elf.
Just Flipper elf.
Buddy the elf.
I'll call Will Ferrell.
Yes.
You and I should talk to Tom.
Mmm.
Do you think he's an elf?
I'm not sure.
Like,
But there was,
He's never been
Wait.
on the shelf.
when I
Yeah.
looked at him, I saw an aura of illusion.
I wish he was an adult toy dealer,
So
not a kid toys.
we may want to
It was
talk to him.
funny.
yes.
They're like weird puppets.
Yes.
Where is Rotavio at this point? I mean, he came back with us.
Good question. I don't
All right.
know.
Is he standing next to me?
No, he's not inside the tent
Clear.
with you.
Okay.
And
that's
neither
clear.
are Arena or
Ismark.
Ismark. It is just your party.
Wow, I just got a weird phone call from somebody that I was not expecting. Okay.
Okay. The fifth card. Lastly, my darling, your enemy is a creature of darkness whose powers are beyond mortality. This card will lead you to him.
Oh, okay. Crown. It's the Raven. Dun, dun, dun.
Feels good.
I'm so excited for this to be the Raven. I don't know if it's gonna be good for us, but I'm so stoked. We were just talking about that.
Have you done this with your other group? Have they met Madame Isabel?
They bypassed.
The Raven.
It's not important.
Find the leader of the feathered ones who live among the vines. Though old, he has one more fight left in him. Oh wait, sorry. No, stand by. No, sorry. Oh, shit, I read that wrong. This is hard. This is hard to do.
Technical difficulty.
Technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties.
We're
Disregard.
just gonna rewind
That was if
this
the Raven.
back.
That was if the Raven
We're
was the
gonna-
bottom.
we're gonna
bottom.
cut-
Oh, okay.
With the Raven being the middle card.
Yeah.
This tells you the location.
Our
of one-
listeners just forget the
forget
last
the
like
last
30
one.
That one
seconds.
person
Yeah.
watching us who's probably Michael.
This one.
Yeah.
This one
Two.
tells you
yeah, my second person.
your enemy, the creature of darkness, and where you will be able to find him to defeat him. The raven says, "Look to the mother's tomb, and you will find your quarry."
Ooh.
So, that means both your first card, I think, was the
Yeah.
Mother of Evil, and
Well, the first card was the skeletons or
Madam.
skeleton laying in by
Madam.
like a grab.
You spoke of knowing Strahd since his birth.
yes,
We are being guided to the mother. Who is Strahd's mother?
Strahd's mother was Queen Ravenova.
How do we seek her out?
She is buried in Castle Ravenloft.
So the tomb we must seek out is in Strahd's castle.
The one and the same, yes.
Well, that's gonna be easy.
Well, that sounds adventure all the way around.
I tell you what, why don't we just send
We've had fun
Arthur
adventure
to
already.
sneak into the castle,
I agree.
Yeah.
and we'll stay here, and Arthur can come back and report.
How much wine do we have?
Oh, we can.
Probably not.
I have
There's a
couple.
winery.
No,
There is a winery.
I actually have a
It's not
couple
that-
bottles
The
of fine
Wizard
wine.
of the coast of the wines.
I forgot
I have-
we did that.
I have a couple bottles of fine wine from the manor house
Okay.
that we stayed at. So
Wizards of the Coast.
Of wines.
The wines
of the coast.
of the coast.
Of the coast of the wines.
Yeah,
She says.
very good.
They're owned by
Marineva
Hasbro.
looks at.
It
Looks at
feels
all
good
of you.
having my voice back, guys.
She
Feels
says.
really good.
It seems that one of your two of your quarries lie in Castle Ravenloft itself. One of them across the continent, and another in the depths of the Amber Temple.
I say we try to find this dusk elf. He's sat.
If
Alright.
you follow the pathway west, past Wallaki, to the western side of Barovia,
Don't tell me it's a morning wood.
in the Morning Wood, you will find
It's my favorite
the
place.
one that you seek.
Up until everyone
Oh.
else.
So it's not.
Morningwood is a very nice place.
I wouldn't know.
Which was it?
Well,
It was the Swashbuckler?
You spoke of you have a map.
Leave
could
those
you
there,
show
by the way,
us-
so I can write
Could
it down.
you show
I took a
us
picture too.
where this Amber Temple is located?
Actually, why don't we see if Eva can show
That was so
us?
cool, by the way. It
You
was so
like that?
cool. I loved it.
I was very interested because I have obviously
It was
no
so
idea.
cool.
Yeah.
And this dictates how the entire rest of the
Yeah.
campaign plays out.
That's interesting.
So I don't control
Yeah.
where
Right.
the campaign goes. You guys do by drawing the card.
Yeah, I feel like it just sounds really fun.
Yeah.
Like placement choices.
So there are 3 artifacts that you are looking for. There is a person that you are looking for to help you, and you
So many
now know where Strahd is located. It's most vulnerable.
So we're looking for his mother, and we're looking for the sword, and we're looking for
Yeah.
the Dusk Elf.
Yeah.
So you are looking for an item of ancient knowledge.
Right.
You are looking for a symbol of good. You are looking for a sword of sunlight. You are looking for a dusk elf that will help you on your quest, and you are looking for where Strahd himself can be found.
Now, where
Right.
did you say we need to head for the Dusk Elf?
West.
I said west. Let me see if I can.
We have the map. Also, if you know where the Amber Temple is, that would help.
She takes your map and
I know you're thinking.
she takes your map and she says, the Dusk Elf you are looking for is near the town of Wallaki, northwest of here. And she says...
In a Vistani camp?
In a Vistani camp outside of town, yes.
Okay.
And she says the Amber Temple
I love to think that Madame Ava is just typing on a computer.
she is.
That makes
She's
me
Googling.
so happy.
Googling
That
the
literally makes me so happy.
You're like, oh shit, I forgot what I said.
What would they call it? Not Google Maps, but they would call it like.
Fantasy search.
It's Fantasy Explorer, Daryl.
Yeah.
It's micro hard.
That's a really good question. It's not on any maps. The Amber Temple is deep in the heart of Mount Gakis. I didn't come up with the name. Gakis. If you take the road south from Wallaki, you will pass the Temple of the Silver Dragon, and you will go through the Selenka Pass and reach Mount Gakis. And in the depths of the mountain, you will find the Amber Temple.
Okay. So what does the group want to start?
I really need to sleep.
I want to start with a
I'm barely staying awake through this.
We do need to sleep.
I need to get it down.
I'm gonna vote for finding the elf.
Alright.
We'll take any wisdom we can get now.
Well, let's get Arita and Ismark to Valaki,
Oh, I
and then
forgot
from
about
there
We go to the elf.
we could go to the elf.
should be close by.
Yeah. We're gonna try.
Wait, yeah. How close is where we need to get
From the
Arena?
Ser Pool.
Yeah.
What does it say over there from the Ser? Does it say from the Serpool camp to Valaki on your ledger on the side?
No.
What does it say from Barovia to Valaki?
Via to... See, Barovia to Serpool, Valaki... It actually doesn't say.
What is going to make Arena safe when we get her there? Why
The
is it gonna-
fact that it is further
We-
away from Castle Ravenloft and a
Close to
secure
the
town.
falls.
Yes, you are not far from.
So
falls.
I would say about 31 miles.
Okay.
So it's from here, the YD.
Up and over.
That should
to
be
Valaki.
2 days hike. Maybe
2 days?
Yeah, 2 days.
Yeah, 15
How do you want to do
miles a day.
15 miles a day?
Or
Oh, March got
That's not
short.
hiking.
That's
Or-
about average.
or
Good day.
if we
I know.
manage to rent some horses or mules, we could probably do that in one day.
Rent from.
Well, the Vistani
Well-
are here.
I mean, we might be able to purchase some transportation.
Do you have coin? I could talk to Stan.
That's a great question. I haven't
some,
purchased
but our
anything in a
DMs
very
seemingly
long
have
time.
You
stolen
think Ricky maybe
Ricky.
had a wagon?
it. Ricky, how much money you have?
Ricky's not with you guys.
Where the fuck did Ricky go?
He was outside in the encampment.
I mean,
you guys
how
were
much
inside Madame Ava.
How much could a horse
Let's find
cost?
Ricky because he had the wagon full of toys.
Madame Ava says, I may not be able to bestow many blessings onto you, as I am bound by the same curse, but I can give you some form of comfort in your travels. Leave your cart and your ass with me,
Ha.
and I will give you a proper wagon and a horse to help you draw it. And she gives you the gift of
Yes.
Whoa.
Look at that.
a wagon, and with the horse that Arthur found previously, you now have a pair of horses that can pull your wagon, and the wagon can hold 2 people on the front, 1 person on the back, and 3 or 4 people inside the wagon itself.
Yes.
So your party can essentially travel in this wagon
Hell yeah.
along the roadway.
Who votes for armoring the wagon?
Armoring the wagon. What?
Scrap metal.
Mike is watching us and he says, "Wagon upgrade."
Yeah.
Got it.
No, well,
Yes.
I mean, it's ancient time, like wood. Extra wood to like reinforce the
Yeah.
the hull of the wagon. At the expense of going a little slower.
And kind of because I
Find an oak tree.
wanted you guys to get to this point in the story tonight, so I'm going to speed up the narrative just a little bit. Is there any business that you guys can think of that you would like to do while you're in Madame Ava's camp? You said you wanted to ask some
Besides
first questions.
Bayron needs a long rest.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
As
also
do
need
I.
to sleep as well.
Yeah.
I lost 14 points.
It's
you
safe
have
to
a-
say you are able to spend an evening in the camp. But
Madam, I don't know if this. I recognize that this
Let's
is
go
probably
spend
not in your.
Several hours traveling.
But I have 2 morning stars. One very highly well made. The other silvered.
yes.
But I don't really need to carry 2 morning stars around. Would you be able to direct me to someone that could maybe combine their properties?
I don't. What do you mean by combine their property?
Maybe melt the silver off of the one and put it on the better made morning star.
I mean, that is quite a simple process. It's not such a difficult thing to melt a silvered weapon and
Well, we are going to a town.
add it to another one.
I need to buy some.
I would say yes. I would say that there are probably at least several smiths in Valaki that would be able to perform such a task for you. I don't think that would be difficult at all.
Very good. Well, there wouldn't happen to be anyone in your camp, would there?
Oh no, they're all a bunch of drunkards and
Okay.
rabble rousers. You wouldn't want any of them. You wouldn't want any of them
So
messing with your weapons.
Wallachia might be the best place to
Yeah,
start.
because
They like weapons of a different sort, not that kind of weapon.
Very good. Well, I
It's a
appreciate
pretty
your
cool
time.
card, isn't it?
It's
Yeah.
cool. Alright, I'm giving myself a long rest.
Yes, it is safe to say that you will be able
taking
to
a
have a
long
long
rest.
rest.
And can I study my spell book as I fall asleep?
Yes, you may. As you all step out of her tent, she says, Arkin,
Yes.
you had a question for me.
Well, that feels so much better.
Would you rather ask your questions like to me
I'm good,
personally,
yes.
like text them to me? Okay, all right. Like truly personal questions.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. We're out. We're still on
Does
YouTube.
well, and let's say this: do any of you have questions that you would personally like from your backstory of your character that you would like Madame Ava to maybe be able to answer away from the rest of the group? If you think of any, text them to me, and
Okay.
I will try to lend insight to your characters if it's something private that they didn't want to share with the rest of the group.
Is this the map that we have, or is this?
This is the map that you have.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the map that you have. You are here at the Sarah Pool.
Yeah.
The pathway leads up towards the Sarah Falls.
Yep.
And northwest to Valaki. Or you can continue to follow the river down towards the mountains. As you rest for the evening and prepare yourselves to disembark from the Serapul encampment, you notice that as you're sort of packing up your wagon, hitching everything on and patting your mule goodbye,
Oh.
you notice that Rictavio
Rictavio
is not in the camp. He is nowhere to be found. He has wandered off somewhere.
Who has?
Rictavio.
Ricky.
Ricky. However, Ismark and Arena are packed, ready to go, wearing their armor, which looks like it's been mended. You set out from the Serapul encampment. You head back up the dirt pathway towards the main road. If you'll recall, the Serapul was off of the main road, down like a sloping dirt pathway into the woods. As you make your way back up towards the top of this dirt path and back to the road, you hear the rush of a waterfall nearby.
Okay.
The Seraph Falls are a few hundred feet away. You can see them majestically dropping off of the hillside down to the river Ivlis below. What you also notice as you are at this crossroads here, this bridge at the Seraph Falls, a black cart drawn by 2 black horses. The same black cart that you saw as you were leaving Barovia. From the cart steps down a man, solemn black clothing. You can see the trim on the inside of his cloak is scarlet, and his hood is drawn. He lowers it as he approaches you, and he says, "My master, Baron Strahd von Zarovich, bids you welcome to his land, and he requests your presence for a dinner party." And he hands you each an envelope.
We have many choices.
I
Of course,
just
you made
I
the
just
decision.
look at this and say,
Amazing. Yeah.
Arkin, care to explain?
I mean, you can crack them and read for yourself.
afterwards.
Here, and let me
And who are you?
do that to give you a little bit of like, please, I am just Baron Strahd's valet. I'm a nobody, really.
For someone that calls us friends, he sure has attacked us enough times.
And the valet introduces himself. My name is Halik. Halik. Haliq. And you will find here. The dinner invitation.
Looking at Strahd's signature, I sniff at it. Is it what I think it is?
It is blood. Yes.
Oh, that feels good.
Eternally your host.
Oh, eternally your host.
Does someone want to read it? Do you have,
Yeah,
do you have
I
enough
would
light
read
to
it.
read it?
Yeah, I can read it.
Yeah.
So this seems to read, my most cherished friends. It would seem congratulations are due. Once again, I am deeply impressed by your tenacity and perseverance in the face of such daunting challenges. Wulaki has not been faced by the presence of your caliber in many decades. Indeed, I find it most fortuitous that my beloved Arena found herself in your talented company at the very moment of chase to leave her familial home. I would use your fate of any who would allow her to come to harm, and find your dedication to her wellness most reassuring. I bid you dine at my castle in 2 days' time, so that Inso can meet in civilized surroundings. We have much to discuss. Your passage here will be a safe one. I await your prompt arrival. Eternally your host, Strahd von Zarkovich.
That is where we are going to end tonight.
Would you do me a favor?
Yes.
Switch the background to the table again,
Mm-hmm.
and would you take a picture of the cards on the table, please?
I did already.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yep, I did back in, with Madame Ava.
Do you want a little bit more light?
Let me see how it turned out. I mean, I can read them with this picture. I like it. That works actually. It's great.
Sorry.
Daryl
Roll and die.
off the table.
I'll send it to the group.
Cool. I'm still surprised you guys don't have a Discord server.
I don't know how to do that. I'm not that great of a nerd. Anyway,
Okay. Bullshit.
Even
Bullshit.
even
I'm good at something.
even the book group, like the Akatar group, has a Discord.
I will work on it, like I told you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's not great.
that is where we're gonna end tonight's session
Thank you.
with your
Thank you.
invitation to Strahd's castle. You have
Oh
some
my god.
information from Madame Ava
Yeah.
on what your next moves are. You have an invitation to join Strahd for dinner. And you have a mission to return Arena and Ismark safely to Vallaki.
We have a lot of shit to
You have a
do.
lot of shit to do.
So much homework.
There's
And we're
a
gonna
lot
do
of shit to do.
yeah.
We have a lot of
And we're
side
gonna
quests.
do some of that shit next time on
Yeah.
D&D.
Uneasy.
Cool.
Wow.